Hi guys, it's another bright one. So I have moved my laptop off to the side just because of where the sun is. So if you see me glancing this way, I am looking at my bullets to keep me on track this direction today. But it is moon energy, right? So when most people think of the moon in astrology, it represents emotions. But the moon actually represents something deeper. The moon is the space of your inner world. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have the theme of emotions and the way we respond to themes and experiences in our life. If we think about what the moon rules here on Earth, the moon pulls the tides of water. It's a very fluid emotional space, but inside of us, that energy can translate to our inner world, our inner space that we're holding, right? Now, as I continue to talk about these themes, remember, I'm going to use astrology as a language to describe these energies, but by no means is this placing you in a box to have to be governed by these topics or even fully believe them. This is about asking yourself a question in order to discover insights about your own truth so you can rule your own life as best you choose to. Remember, you are the ruler. No one can tell you who you are. You are the one that governs that. But let's get into it, right? So if the moon holds the space for your inner world, it is where you reflect on your life. It's where you process your experiences, decide what belongs in your inner sanctuary. This is a lot of times where the moon falls into the theme of the mind space because all of this energy is happening inside of this space. Do you govern your mind or does something else govern your mind? It's a good question to ask yourself. Just like the real moon, there's always a side that remains unseen, a part of your inner world that only you can enter. No one else is allowed inside of that space. And in these moon cycles that we experience, even when we're looking up at the moon, that we're privileged to be able to actually see in our sky, you're going to see cycles that it goes through. The full moon, the waning moon, the new moon, the waxing moon. These cycles invite different types of reflection to happen. You'll notice the planet experiences different things when the moon is in different cycles, just like you do. It'd be one interesting experiment to just track the moon for a month and write down maybe a couple sentences about how you feel that day, whether it's in the morning or evening when you do it, just to see how your personal emotional space, your personal world changes as the moon does. If you have a lot of water influence in your life, you might notice that you experience even more connection to the moon than if you didn't have as much water. But we all have moon energy, so we're all going to be affected. It's just some might be affected more than others, but that's just my perception. So as these cycles invite different types of reflection, right after the full moon energy, the energy often becomes more contemplative. You begin asking questions like, what did I learn? What did life reveal to me? What needs to shift? These are questions you can ask yourself after a full moon. I mention the full moon now because in the space and time of when I'm recording this video, we just completed a full moon and the moon is now currently waning. It's releasing all of the energy that it's built up, all of these accumulation of energy that these questions brought through, right? So these are wonderful questions to ask at this time. And the moon just moved into fire energy. So let's talk about it because it's so prevalent right now and I feel it resonating deep within me. Now that the moon moves through fire signs, right? Something different happens. Fire energy brings action. It brings courage, movement, expression. Fire does not sit still. Fire and water are not necessarily elements that are cohesive, but they learn to work together. It's asked the inner world to take movement. Fire pushes water. Now you can douse fire by too much water. So if water is emotion, if you're too emotionally stagnant, it can put out a fire. So it's a wonderful time to find the balance of that fire. And each moon in fire is going to move in different ways. When the moon is in Aries, it's the spark of fire, right? Aries is the initiation sign of the zodiac. It's the baby. We love the baby. When the moon moves through Aries, emotions become direct. Reactions can be quick. Instincts become strong. Remember, the moon can hold a lot of very intuitive energy, the knowing space. You may notice sudden urges to act, courage rising emotionally in how you respond to things, impatience about situations that feel stagnant will start to arise when that moon is in Aries. And it's a wonderful time to ask yourself, where is my inner world asking me to initiate right now? That's a wonderful question to ask yourself when the moon is moving through Aries. Now, when the moon moves through Leo, our next fire sign, the moon is now in the heart of the fire. It is when the moon is emotionally wanting to express. Creativity increases. There's a desire to be seen and appreciated. It grows. And also, in my mind, a wonderful time for wanting to share your heart, your inner identity, your heart. Leo is wonderful at being generous. It's a very generous energy when it's in a high octave form. Sometimes if it's low octave, it can demand appreciation and demand you give it its flowers. But when it's high octave, it is generously shining the light that it knows how to shine for the world to be inspired to shine just as brightly. It wants to share the stage, but it wants to let you know that I'm going to show you the way. So you may notice when the moon is in Leo, wanting to create, wanting to express something heartfelt, wanting to share joy with others. And then the question to ask yourself that I came to about the Leo moon is, what part of my heart is asking to be expressed? What do I want to express right now? Just see what feelings, thoughts, ideas come up during a Leo moon. And remember, moon transits are usually 2.5, 3 days, just depending on how they're moving through space and time. So you have a nice window to feel out these feelings. And as you start getting comfortable with working with moon cycles, you'll start to see repeating patterns and themes. They just might be expressed in different experiences. Because remember, these patterns are happening at different places. But if you know your natal chart and say you know your first house is Leo and it's a Leo moon, you know that that moon is transiting your first house. So those themes can show up in topics that are associated with how you personally identify, how you personally relate to the world, and how the world sees you. Your physical health can come, not even physical health, but your physical form, identity-wise, can come into play in that. So that's a fun element to add into that moon transiting through your own space. And then you get to add in the element of if it's aspecting or interacting with any other planets at the time. That's why astrology is such a beautiful language and a beautiful system, because there's layers to it. You can learn so much about not just yourself, but how to understand questioning yourself, talking to yourself, exploring yourself, because of the themes that astrology presents. So if you're not into it, get into it, because it's really fun. You don't have to Bible it and fully be like, oh, this is the only end all be all. That's no way to live in this world. I am a full believer in allowing all things into your life. That's the best way to do it, and picking what serves you best, because it's all about you finding you in this world and expressing you here. So if astrology can help, get into it. If it can't, find something else. There's plenty of things in this world. But I'm getting off track. Let me get back to Sagittarius. So when the moon is in Sagittarius, which is actually in space and reality, if you're watching this video in current time, is where I am existing and experiencing this time and reality. It is during the Sagittarius moon. It just transited this morning from Scorpio into Sagittarius. So what happens in a Sagittarius moon is all about expanding fire. When the moon moves through Sagittarius, it's about emotions seeking freedom. It's about curiosity growing. It's about the desire for truth and exploration. It starts to increase. There might be a response, a call to action that you're feeling called to find truth, find a exploration of something fun that, got sparked in you, or even since everything is cyclical, right? Nature shows us there's a cycle to it. You can start to understand that because you were in Scorpio, there's something that happened during the Scorpio moon that you became aware of within you, that now you want to explore that truth. When you start working with the moon like that, it's a beautiful system to build your inner knowing of yourself, especially Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the knowing space. It's very Jupiterian energy, okay? It's very expansive. It wants you to grow. So this moon energy is looking to grow whatever you uncovered in that Scorpio. Remember, fire always follows water. This is the princess. Hi, princess. No jumping on the laptop. I don't know why I tried to tell a cat not to do something. They do what they want. She's like, I do what I want. It's okay. She's a princess, so we let her. But yeah, so it's a wonderful time to explore when we're in Sagittarius moon. You may notice wanting new perspectives, creating movement or adventure in your life, reflecting on bigger meanings in life. Sagittarian moon often asks, why am I being called to expand my understanding of life? When you use fire moon transits, you might find emotional energy often wants movement at this time. Ways to work with this energy to ground that movement in is to take action on something meaningful. Move your body, create something, speak honestly about your feelings. This is the ability to incorporate fire energy, the movement, the spark, that creation force that is looking to plant its seed, and adding your knowing space with it, coming from your inner world. So you're creating from your inner world. You're moving your body to serve what your inner truth is, not because of outside things. This is coming from the inside when it's a moon energy in fire. Fire moons help move insights from the inner world to real life. It's a beautiful, we're going to use the trigger word, manifestation moon energy. So the moon often reflects the inner sanctuary of the mind. But when the moon meets fire energy, the reflection becomes the fuel for action. So if you feel called to act at this time, look in and see if it's coming from what your inner truth is, because that might be the spark to catalyst. Is that the word? Is that a word? To catapult you into what it is that you truly desire, your heart song. My phone overheated. I had it in the sun. It's bright, it's shining, it feels good though here. I love this spot. Anyway, I was talking about happy feet. I remember this because it got me very excited. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Happy Feet, but there's this one message and song that says, you have to find your heart song. That's what fire moon energy is looking for you to do, is to find your heart song and take action on it. So astrology, again, isn't meant to box you into definitions. It's a language that helps you observe how energy moves through your life. The moon shows us the world within. And fire reminds us when it's time to bring the inner knowing into action. So if you're curious about how the moon moves through your personal chart, or how lunar cycles influence your personal life, you're always welcome to reach out. Exploring your own chart can be powerful insights about the rhythm of your inner world. And if you'd like guidance and a little point in the direction, let's play. I always love exploring charts with others. Just hit me up in the comments. And yeah, until then, enjoy moon energy, enjoy moon fire energy. Whatever your heart is calling to action right now might be in order to align you to your greatest purpose of all. So happy moon energy, and I love you. Talk soon.